Sahaba, especially in the Arab, and here Kareem means generous. Is there a particular reason why it's translated as generous, or where the distinction is between honor and generosity?
Ahsan. So the question is Kareem the same as generous, as we sometimes find translations of du'as? The answer is that Kareem is generous, but the meaning of Kareem is not just being generous. For generous, in Arabic we have Sakhi and Jawad. Jawad and Sakhi means generous. Kareem means the one who is noble and as a result is also generous, but also has other qualities. For example, maybe someone is generous but doesn't have good akhlaq. Yeah? There are people who are generous but easily get angry, maybe shout, but then they are generous. But Kareem is the one that has impeccable akhlaq, okay, respects you, honors you, and even if he is generous, it's because he honors you. So it's more than generosity. But in some texts they use it in the sense of generous, but it's more than that. Therefore, for example, inshallah I will talk in Dua Iftitah. We say, Allahumma inna narghabu ilayka fi dawlatin karimah. We don't say fi dawlatin sakhiyah. We don't say generous government. We say karima in the sense that it's an honorable government which is honoring everyone. Okay, so there are similarities but differences also. Yes. Alaikum assalam.
One of the things you mentioned was inequalities, was that it should be new and novel.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people, if it's too common, people lose interest. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, this one is not decisive, but it's better. If you want to be successful in your campaign, like for example, when there is election, okay? Sometimes there is a need, everyone talks about, for example, if in a society there is, unemployment, every candidate talks about creating jobs, etc. But if there is something very important that other people have ignored and you manage to stress on that, this is also going to be helpful, someone that people want but other candidates ignored. But sometimes maybe other people also talk about it. Right now, unfortunately, at least right now, I think people are desperate for honor and respect, but no one is talking about, nowhere you see that people say, we should work for, honoring people, respecting people, unfortunately. And one of the also good things about honor and respect is that it's not very much possible to, play with it or, confuse people. For example, about justice. If you talk about justice for Palestinians, some people may say, but the other side is also has some rights and justice, we have to discuss, they have right to defend themselves. Justice sometimes people can play with this. Yeah? But if we say, okay, we don't talk about justice, are Palestinians now able to have a dignified life? Are you dignifying these people? You don't even respect their graveyards. You don't respect their, mosques, churches, children, families. So I think it's something that if you are a little bit fair, you can easily understand that there is a problem. But if you talk about justice, maybe you have to take them to international, court. But any human being can see that there is no respect here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I was wondering, so I think there were 6 qualities in the introduction, if I'm not mistaken. And with, I might be cheating a little bit, but yesterday's lecture, which was amazing too, Quran was on the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So I wondered if we could have a 7th quality that it could be an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is manifested by the Imam.
Sure. I said something which is very important in the Quran and all the divine religions. So this is why also it's quality of Allah. But you can also add that if you want to highlight it. Because if I say at the beginning that should be something which is a quality of Allah, people may say, why it has to be a quality of Allah? Alaykum as-salam wa
Thank you for the lecture, Sheikh. You might have answered this in the previous class, but in your book you mentioned one of the sentences, we must ensure that the true Husayn, rather than the false image of Imam Husayn that some of us currently show and represent, is revealed to the media. Sheikh, are you able to give some examples of this, please?
So, when people are afraid of Imam Husayn alayhi salam, they will try to distort. For example, if you are against the Shia and you see that they get energy from Imam Husayn, what do you do if you are against the Shia? You don't attack Imam Husayn directly because they are not going to listen to you. Unless if you are able to kill them, maybe some people say, let us kill Shia, destroy shrines. But ordinary people or politicians don't, do this. What they do, they may distort. We talked in Tahrif Ashura. So maybe they divert our energy that we should get from Imam Husayn for positive things into something which would be destructive or would be divisive, or put us into superstitious ideas. So something which is to be giving us energy for doing good things can become something that takes all our energy and then we don't do anything else. So we have to be careful. Shaitan, ignorance, and enemies, all these work together so that you don't charge yourself with the light of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. You either get busy with this or, selfish things come, superstitious things come.
One more question from the ladies and one from the gents.
The concept that hurt people.
Hurt?
So people who carry pain
Yes.
create pain for others. So they
Yeah.
hurt other people. So people who carry hurt other people. This model that we've been discussing is people who carry honor will honor other people.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who carry hurt.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen there's a trend in mental health because hurt people lead to we carry their mental health issues. But there's been this movement to separate Islam from mental health. I think there's a model here that's
Yeah.
missing where God is part of
Exactly.
developing healthy mental health.
You know, those who are hurt, if they are hurt in, for example, financial things, you know, moral things, etc., but their dignity is intact, they can cope with it. But if the dignity is hurt, which is, for example, when it is done in a very early stage of life, you know, if you are a 20, 30 years old person that has already established, you know, dignity, it's easier to cope. But when a child is abused and humiliated, then there is chance that the dignity of the child is hurt. And this child then had very difficult future. It's possible to, you know, restore maybe, but it's very difficult. If it is in a bad environment, this becomes a great then candidate for becoming a criminal. Yeah, because dignity of this person is harmed, and now it's like a body which has no immunity system. That can be a place for all the germs. So it's very important that as soon as possible, with, you know, give honor and dignity to children.
So there is a place now to talk about God and Allah in intervention of mental health, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think it's not
Sure.
regarded as a real intervention.
Yeah.
So they say you're afraid to say you've got weak faith, but to me it's such an integral part of
Exactly.
your mental health again.
Without God, you cannot, you know even what is human being. لا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. If we forget Allah, we forget ourselves. Sometimes I use this example. I say, you know, if you have a radio, you know, device, but without connection to the station, then what's the use of this radio? What can you do? Just you can use it as an object, you know, for example, to put it on something, you know, so that wind doesn't take it away or what. Because radio without connection to the station is not radio. Or if you have mobile, but your mobile cannot get connection, what can you do? It's very limited. Human beings without God are very limited, but with God, unlimited. Yes, this is very sad that people try to separate human beings from God. I think I told you maybe in one of the classes that several years ago, one brother told me that he's taking course PGCE, okay, postgraduate for certificate for religious education. He said most of the people who are being trained to be teacher of religious education, they don't believe in God. I said, why then they take, you know, this course? Let someone who believes in religion, you know, if you're not Muslim, at least Christian, at least a Jew. Why you take a course to become teacher of religious education and tell people that religion, you know, is useless, or, you know. But unfortunately, this is the case, and they think, you know, because we operate with, you know, I don't know, objective and academic things, you know, everyone can study, everyone can teach. But it's like someone who hates, for example, you know, environment, and you say, you know, teach people how to look after environments. It doesn't make sense. But what can be the result of children who go to these classes if they don't have any other, you know, way? This is why we see that many Christians, they say, you know, their children don't know anything about Christianity. Because the only way is from a school, and they don't teach them properly. And this is why madrasa and Islamic school become very important for us.
I
it's more of a comment than a question, but you can see how it's a social problem right now. Like you're saying, because in society today, the modern society, whatever we're currently living in, it lacks dignity, it lacks honor, and it's almost like it's infiltrated the whole educational system. It's infiltrated our kids, families, the way things are operating, relationships, everything. And then as I'm thinking, it's like if we market Imam Husayn going down basic to the fundamentals, not even life and food and shelter. Like if you look at Maslow's hierarchy, we always start with food and shelter. But we're going one step further. We're going, dignity. If that's not there, then if Imam Husayn, if we use, not using the Bible, but use Imam Husayn in a good way to heal honor and dignity as a fundamental human right, then it's only a fast route to Imam Mahdi. And it's quite beautiful how it's being explained.
And the other good thing is that this is not, possible to be labeled as sectarian or religious. This is very human. Yeah. You are transcending the boundaries of religions or cultures. Because anything which is cultural maybe is not suitable for other cultures. Anything which is religious or for a sect, maybe other people don't accept. But we are reaching the level of fitra and humanity. Everyone can understand this and appreciate this. And this is one of the also beauties of Karbala, that in Karbala the battle is not between two groups of Muslims. Yeah? When you talk about, for example, Imam Ali and Ibn Muljam, they may say this is a issue among Muslims. Imam Hassan and Muawiyah. Yeah? But when it comes to Karbala, it's humanity against those who lacked humanity. Yeah? So everything is clear. You can be a Hindu and understand what was happening. Who was right, who was wrong. Yeah? You don't need to be a Shia or a scholar. Because we went to the very basic level of humanity. And now I think what is happening in Gaza is almost the same. But so much hypocrisy is built over years that people cannot see what is happening. Like at the time of Imam Husayn, if Lady Zainab was not there, Imam Sajjad was not there, they could cover everything. Although tragedy was happening, but they managed to remove all the propaganda of Muawiyah and Yazid, when people see, there is no problem. You don't need to convince people, just let them see. And if we get rid of this hypocrisy today, I think there is no need to fight. Just everyone will, it's enough distance themselves from bad people. But so much hypocrisy. Inshallah will be. When there is too much hypocrisy, what is needed is great sacrifice, unfortunately.
Inshallah, we'll continue with our lecture next week. We have 2 more lectures to go. And if you're on your way out, we'll just check the registers if your names are down there. And if there are any questions, any other points, please use the